All right, so y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, better understanding self, and giving praises to the Most High. So check this out. In this video, right, I'm going over it's Black History Month, and we're going over the Harlem Renaissance. Now, this is special to me because my community where I'm from, Harlem McBride, Florida, got its name from this Renaissance that's happening. So hearing that name all the time makes me think of my community. So I'm going to be going over how this played a big part in hip hop, art, like everything as far as the Black culture. This was the time in when Black Wall Street was alive. Okay. And this was one of the prospering times. If you take away the burning of our towns, and you can't take it away, but other than that, this was probably the highest point we reached financially, togetherness in society. The 60s was pretty strong too, with the Black Panther Party, but I think in the 20s when they had their own airports, how people had their own hospitals, I think that was the top. All right, so in this video, we're going to go over that. And why is the Harlem Renaissance important? Because it challenged racial stereotypes. It asserted pride in Black life and identity. So we finally got an identity. But most importantly, it affected politics, social development, and almost every aspect of the FBA culture. So I'm gonna get into this video. Shout out to let me give them Black History in 2 minutes for holding us down on this. And without further ado, let's get it.
The Harlem Renaissance is one of the most iconic cultural periods in African American history. Throughout the decade of the 1920s, Black writing, art, and music flourished, ushering in a cultural revolution that rocked the United States.
One of the most important factors that accounted for the rise of what we know of as the Harlem Renaissance is the migration of Black peoples from the South to urban centers like Harlem.
The Jim Crow era began after Reconstruction, and every Southern African American had to think about, what should we do? Should we go or should we stay? For many of these people, it was a matter of life and death, literally.
Sometimes in the most repressive times, we create the most extraordinary art.
Amidst the fervor of the Great Migration, bold, exciting forms of Black music evolved, along with venues to listen and dance to this music. Blues and jazz clubs became a central part of life in Harlem, where artists such as Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington, Bessie and Mamie Smith rose to prominence.
Began to cry. He went away and never even said goodbye.
The era also saw the burgeoning of literary work by and about African Americans, which the writer Alain Locke compiled into an anthology. He called it The New Negro, and its name came to define a movement.
The Harlem Renaissance is a facet of a larger movement that we think of as the New Negro movement, where you have a new generation of Black people, by this point, 2 generations out of slavery, using the arts as a way to help people gain broader civil and political rights.
Some of the framers of what became the Renaissance make the argument that the artistic worth of a people has to be proven by the worth of the art and literature they produced, especially for people that historically, over centuries, have been defined as without culture, without history, and without any record of achievement.
The Harlem Renaissance was the flowering of creativity that had been suppressed for centuries. People that had the sense that things were opening up, and finally, we can be the people that we imagine ourselves to be.
All right, so there y'all go. So from us seeing that, we can say that the Harlem Renaissance had a big play. You gotta say with even with hip hop and the culture and the art form, because this was a big time right after slavery where we had a lot of finance and we had a lot of creativity and time to do it. So I think the Harlem Renaissance was one of the biggest area. Black Wall Street, to me, the 20s and the 30s was the biggest movement I think that we had. As far as, I got to give it to the Black Panther Party in the 60s, but after that I feel like we was infiltrated. So we only had time from the 20s to the 60s of the whole culture. But let me know what y'all think about this, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.
To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.